Well, hello there, you bunch of car-loving sons of bitches, you. Guess what we're going to do today? We're going to work on Bonnie. Bonnie is our 1967 Buick GS340. You can look right in one of the corners. There'll probably be a quick shot right to when I built this car. I thought it'd get more attention. It really didn't. This one's pretty amazing. Found this in Springfield, Illinois, in a place called Cabbage Patch. Minivan had rolled and landed on top of it, smashed it all up, and me and Zeppelin and Skylar put this thing back together. Got the original 340 running, and we took it to duct tape drags. This car right now has an oil leak at the intake. It's never been off. It's all original here, guys. It has oil leak on the China walls, and when you really get on it, she's sucking oil through the valve guides, which tells me, the valve seals are bad. But also Buick heads this year had a little bit of problem with those valve guides going bad, and they'll suck oil through. But hopefully for now, we'll just put some valve guide seals on it and that'll be fine. I already have them. I have an intake gasket. I've had it for a year, probably more than a year. Never got to it. I was daily driving her. But since gutless doesn't need anything, she's going to duct tape drags just the way she is. I ain't touching her. The aces, everything runs great. Been daily driving this. The problem is, let's say this car right here, something happens. I need a backup. And I need footage to show y'all. So why not make sure that Bonnie is ready to go, just in case she decides to say, I don't want to go to Arizona like he did. He didn't want to go. He fought me there, fought me home. But this one never fought me. This one so far hasn't fought me. So I've already got the antifreeze going out of it. Have to do that because you got to get it lower than that. We'll just let it all go out. That way I can go ahead and flush it. It looks good though. I think I got most of the engine cleaned out as far as it doesn't overheat or anything. But we're going to have to take the valve covers off. The carburetor and all this crap, I might leave that on the intake and just take the intake off. But we're going to have to do something I've never done on camera. I do have the stuff to do it. So we're going to have to put air to the cylinder to keep the valves up so I can get the springs off the top of the valves, change the seal, and put it back together. And we have to do that 16 times. Should be fun. And then we'll reseal everything back up. Gonna change the oil, put all the stuff in it. This may not all be done today or tonight, but we'll get a lot of it done now. By the way, we got new merch, got newer hats, different colors. We got pink one for the ladies. We got some new cheaper-ish IOG shirts. They're green, just say IOG. You can go right down there in that Printify store. Help us out a little bit because we're trying to put the money together to help Zeppy build his first motor. And I've been working a lot. That's why we ain't really done much, but enough yapping. Let's go. Take off all our hoses, get them out of the way. Still a little bit of dirt in this thing. Little bit of dirt. At least if anything, we'll get her tore down that way tomorrow night. And maybe I'll be off for once on like Saturday because I'm working all the time. That's right. Let's lose everything, shall we? Move the microphone. Gotta be real careful. This is actually an original hose. That's original to this car hose. Amazing. So we're getting her tore down. But my ground for my distributor, my ready to run, is right there on the choke, along with the choke. That's, yeah, I think I might have been in a hurry. We'll just say that, but yeah, don't do that. You need to find a better place to ground it, and that means I'll probably put it right back where I found it. But yeah, we're just gonna blow this thing off. I'll get this out, and I don't know, we take that carb off. If I leave the carb on there, I won't ruin the gaskets. But I think I can get him. I think I can get in there and get that off there. So let me loosen a little bit more. And I'll see if I can't pop that thing off, and I'll show you that, because it's never been off as far as I know. It still has the, you know, the gaskets in the front that are blown out. That's why it's leaking oil. I don't think this thing's ever been touched, so might be a first for both of us. Well, for everybody, actually. We're a little bit further. I'm gonna go ahead and take this off because there was a whistle. You could hear a whistle. And I don't know where it came from. But that needs to come off. Oh, turn this down like that. This thing, whenever you would goose on it or just go, there was a whistle. Yeah. The Comedic is fine. Looks like I didn't have the right one and I cut out the center. That could be part of it. And this junk thing, yeah, we'll just go ahead and get rid of all this. I don't know where it was whistling at though. Underneath there maybe, because these have a heat riser plate. A little bit different than your normal intake. Yep, got a lot of carbon in there. Did I have a gas? Yeah, I had a gas tank. Look at that. I had that all cleaned out too. So while we got her apart, we're going to look into that too. Which, by the way, there's no other intake for this. No aftermarkets, no nothing. So that's the end of that. It's leaking right there. See it? Okay, so while we got it apart, we need to fix that problem. So that's off. And that leaves, do some vacuuming, and then we take out all the bolts. And that sumbitch should pop right off there. Alright, Zeppy's out here going to help. He's going to vacuum that out real quick, and I'm going to get the stuff together. We can start getting that thing off of there and apart. He's just got to make sure he gets all the rat crusties, because they like to eat their damn walnuts out of my trees and hickory nuts, and some reason the top of an engine block is like perfect. I have no idea. Get out of the way. She wore an itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini that she wore for the first time today. Alright.
What?
If you can reach them, just don't drop anything down that intake now. I've been angry.
You want me to reach?
You want me to do it? You gotta take all these out. There's one there, one there, one there, one there. Two. We got to make sure we don't lose this bracket, and we should be able to get that one without taking this off. There and there. It's just the intake bolts. See if you can do it. Alright, so I can get the far away ones, but I don't know. There you go. Just like that. You probably have to put your hand on the back. Oh, go ahead. Whoa. Whoa, Kimosabe. Oh, don't lose the bolt. Is that, let me check, see if there's a washer. Nope, that's that bracket. Okay. So, I don't think there was a washer. Let me get this out of the way so we know which what. It goes over here on the pile. And just go on to the next one. Alright, pull off. Go ahead. Next.
I am not tall enough for this. Hey, put your hand on the back.
I can. Keep going. Just like that. Bump, 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 bump. Come on now. There you go. Now make sure we keep the washers. See how that's perforated? Okay. So what that is these are the first ones we're going to put on. And that way, whenever we go back through it, these will be the guides, and that'll be the easy way on. We can just pop them in there under the bolt. Okay, we'll get all these off and then we'll be right back. Okay, place your bets. Nope, nope, Looking for an edge. No edge. Thanks, Buick. There's got to be someplace. Nope. Well, this might be a fun one. Because you can't get it on here, you'll break the shroud. I'm going to take that off. Not really. And right there, good enough? Nope. Oh boy. I don't want to dent anything. There's definitely leaking oil back there. Where can we get a hold of it, buddy? This one might hurt. Well, I don't know. This might be a little bit of a bear. That's right. Step on shit and break your leg, Jay. Oh boy. There is literally nowhere to get a hold of this thing. Jeez Louise, Buick. That's just asking to bend the freaking valve cover. Can I get through there? Oops. Wants to go.
Oh.
Glasses. Aha! I got it. Let me save my glasses. Jeez. That was close. All right. That's cast iron, buddy. She's heavy.
I know.
Oh my God, that thing is really heavy. Been a while. Get your fingers in there. Treat it like a bowling ball. Throttle out of the way. She's still hooked up somewhere. Where is she hooked up?
There. Oh.
Damn it, I didn't want to break the gasket, but oh well. Ah.
Ooh.
Oh, jeez.
Oh.
Look how clean that is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's that's the valley, or the China wall. How are we looking in there? Well, gasket. Where's? Huh. Yeah, both China walls are so hard. That's original. This thing ain't ever been apart.
We say to all of our motors.
Yep. That's original. Just getting a feel for it here before I show you. God damn. Why is that now in the way? It wasn't before. Gaskets. That's old school gasket, man. Wow. All right, let me get a light and I'll show you around. So, just kind of going through all these. This thing is original. Look at the wear and basically the pitting on that camshaft. Some of it's not bad, but you can see where it's worn. Does it need to be rebuilt? Yes. Yes, it does. Are we going to rebuild it? No. No, we are definitely not. What we're going to do is just get it to where we can go back to just driving it, and I don't have a major oil leak, and I would not have any problem driving that across the country again. Not at all. That is super clean in there. Super clean. But we're just going to clean that up. But before we do that, I'm going to get the valve covers off. I wanted to get that off first. It's starting to get dark, and I got to work early in the morning. But let me go ahead and take these valve covers off. We've had a lifter tick in this since we got it. The thing is these are non-adjustable. You have to use washers and stuff, and I don't know. I've got some. We may try it. I'll have to get my feeler gauges out, check the lash that way if I want to do that. But this thing ran just fine. I think if we can just stop the oil burn, and it'll be fine. So we'll go ahead and get these valve covers off, and that'll probably be it for tonight, because I got to get up early. Starting to get dark, and the mosquitoes are already coming. They are horrible this year out here. Mosquitoes and friggin' ticks. What the hell? I've never had that problem, and all of a sudden this year, I got it. Let me get the valve covers off, and we'll see where we're at. That's probably about as far as I'm going to go tonight. Probably go back to doing it tomorrow night or Saturday. There we go. Weird, huh? Yeah. These have basically a rocker bar, and the springs that hold them. And these, I believe, are the non-adjustables. I don't think there's any way to adjust that. But, I mean, they're all tight. It's not that. It's underneath there. You really can't see it. But if you look inside the spring, I don't know if I can pick it up with the camera, there is no valve guide seal anymore. So I've got new ones for it, and then we'll just how you do that is you got to take these off. I have had the valve covers off because I put new gaskets on them, and I cleaned all these out. If you look back on one of the old videos, I had this thing was full of crap, full of sludge. The oil returns back there in the corner, they weren't oiling, but you see it oils pretty good. It's a great running engine. It's just whenever you really tromp on it, it's smoking. That's because I'm losing oil with compression like an air pump. It's going right through the valve guides. Now if I wanted to, I could take these heads off and have them redone, but I don't think there's any need for that. Not right now. We'll just put some seals on it, kind of block the oil, and so we don't have oil coming out all over the motor, you know, with the China walls, and we'll just go from there. Not a big deal. Something to do anyway while it's damn frogs. They're heavy this year. It's like everything else. But yeah, we'll get to this. I want to see if I can't help this thing out a little bit with this lifter pick shit. But I mean, I don't think it's got a white cam, because that sumbitch, when you tromp it, this thing will take off. It didn't with the original carburetor. Found that out at Duct Tape Drags. But oh, maybe we just take this one and she can redeem herself. I don't know, but I don't know when I'm going to get back to this. It may be a day, maybe two. I don't know. I may get bored tonight and just come back out if it cools off, because man, it was nice. Now it got hot. So we'll get back to this tomorrow night or Saturday. I'm gonna we're still continuing to clean out here since it's supposed to be kind of like fall weather. We need to get some stuff done. I've already done a lot of this over here and in the back, and we'll get to it though. I'll see you in a day or two. Hey, we're back. It's Saturday. Got a phone call yesterday and a text message that said, hey, I got that motor for you if you're ready to come get it. So yeah, I'm ready to come get it. I am working on Bonnie. She's up there, but I need a truck. Go get a 350 block. What we're doing is Zeppy's building his first engine. And we were going to do it with a Pontiac. Parts got ridiculous, so we put that on hold. So I've been looking for another engine because the block that I had, it's 4-bolt main 010 Chevy. The block that I have ended up being bad. I ran a couple hones through it and it's just bad. And I don't want to get the money involved in a machine shop, so we've been looking for another motor. My friend Joe happens to have one. Not too far from here, so we're going to go get it. But Aiden uses that white truck to go back and forth to work. I don't know when I'm going to be back home, so I need a truck. So we got to wake up a giant. The old 73 is just sitting here waiting. I know, it looks terrible, but we'll get to it. She's got something coming. All the Jeeps got something coming. We need to wake her up. I know, this looks terrible. How awful that we have let Blanche get this dirty. And on top of that, we lost a limb. And she has new battle scars. And no, we aren't going to try to get that out, because the minute you do, this paint's going to start flaking off anyway, because it's so brittle. It's really awful. But let's see if we can't get her running. She's been sitting quite a while, so I imagine the battery's dead. So let's get the hood open, see what happens. See if we can fire this old girl up. Oh, well, the lights are on. You gonna fire? No way. Super start batteries. Well, where are you at? Woo! She's dirty. I can't believe that that's kind of charged. I'm probably still gonna have to put a box on it. Right there is the 400 from a 72 Torino that I built in about 3 days. Literally tore it apart and built it in 3 days. You can go back and watch the video if you want. Looks like it got a little bit of corrosion on there. What's up with that? No, doesn't matter. Yeah. And this thing has a friggin' ridiculous camshaft in it. It's got a thumper cam in it. It's not a performance cam, y'all. It's strictly for sound. I do have some things to put on this. I have a fan clutch that I need to put on it, but I put this in last year. Man, did it help. 4-core, because these babies run hot. That looks terrible. I better get this thing cleaned up before Zeppy sees it. He'll be pissed. This is his baby. Let's see if this thing will run. Somehow I don't see it taking off, but this car's been pretty damn resilient. Come on, baby. Yeah, she might have enough get up in that battery. Just ain't got no fuel up in the bowl. There it went. She fired. Purrs like a kitten. Yeah. This is a good old car, man. I'll let her warm up a little bit. Huh? Yeah. Yeah, 400 Fords weren't known for the oil pressure. This one is. That is the thumper cam. And they're awesome, but it's just for sound. That's it. I am probably going to be taking these side pipes off because this one's leaking so bad. And I'd like to just put some really good exhaust all the way out the back. As Zeppy said, this is his car when he gets his license, and that's in 6 years, so we got plenty of time. Anyway, let's see if she pulls out of the hole. The problem is I've got, this thing has a leaky old ass FMX transmission. Yeah. And drive. Reverse. Yeah. There's a better look at old Blanche in her dirty state. I do really like this car. Just ain't been driven a lot this summer because we were working on that Cutlass, but the heat actually works in this car too, so I may work on that a little bit. But yes sir. All right, let's see if we're going to go get a motor real quick. Okay, before I go anywhere, this thing needs a bath, like really bad. It's horrible. So let's go do that real quick. For some reason, the tires feel like they're square. Maybe it's that, a little too long. Hopefully it comes out of it. But not bad. Thing runs like a top, just like everybody said it wouldn't. Well, she's all washed up. Hey, how come y'all didn't tell me that my voltmeter wasn't on? It was only showing like under 12. You saw it. Why didn't you say something? The help these days. But anyway, I just went wiggle wiggle on the regulator and it started working. Whatever. All right, let me get out to my buddy Joe's and get this engine. Shut off again. I'll have to jiggle that wire. I got a wire going crazy in there or something. But no biggie. I got my jumper. Okay. We got our motor back there. It's a reman newer 5.7. I don't know if it was originally a TBI or not, but we ain't worried about it. That's not important. So we'll see what it looks like when we get her home and we'll get to work on that damn Buick. I want to get that done, so I'll see you at home. Well, okay, so the heads are very, very low compression heads. They are a mismatch. That's how remanufactured engines do it. So keep an eye on that. Make sure your heads are the same. But usually what they'll do is they'll cut them and they'll get them exactly the same. But this one is the cheapy cheap of the 886. This is worse than an 882. This one is just a regular, like an 1986 truck head. You're lucky to get 8-to-1 compression out of those. But it's all right. A few notable things that I noticed. That is a Fowler extension for a plug, and I thought, oh, one of them, you know, we'll fix that. Well, there's two. It's a little extension you put in between the plug that keeps the oil fouling down, so that's okay. Probably had some bad rings in it or something, but Zeppy's getting the tractor over here. I got her set up. We'll get her off the truck, and then we got to move on to other things for now. Maybe we'll clean this up later. All right, back to it. Let's pretend, if you will, that I know what I'm doing. I've never, and I've said this before, I've never really worked with a Buick. So let's see what we got here. So anyway, let's get one of these rails off. We gotta make sure we know which side's which. I've got another table over here, and we'll probably go ahead and take the push rods out, and we want to keep, you know, in line to where they go. So I've got a magnet right there that we'll put them on, and then we'll get it out of the way. That way they're in line whenever I go to put this thing back together. Should go right back together. Hand tools. I have a rag sitting down in the engine bay, you know, down inside the valley. Keep anything from getting to the cam. If it gets down in the cylinder, we can get that out easy, but you know. Now first, we got a barking dog. Shut up! Let's get these 4 bolts off, or at least loose, loosey-goosey. I haven't done one of these for a long time. I did them on Mopars, not a Buick. Pretty much the same design, except I'll show you a few things that aren't exactly normal to some motors. And I'm doing this all by hand because, like I said, I've never done it. I want to make sure that we don't lose anything. One more. Remember, there's pressure on this from the camshaft going up through the lifter, so one of them's going to be a little teat. Well, loose enough. Come on. There we go. And then we just pull that right out, just like so. Yeah. Just a rail. So I'm going to go ahead and put this over here. Leave the bolts in it. I'll probably clean them off and put them right back in there. Now these push rods are actually non-oiling. I'm pretty sure. We'll pull one out here. There. Yeah, they're just normal push rods. There's no hole. So these are actually push rods. The ones with the holes through them that oil, they're actually called push tubes, but we just all call them push rods. But you can see right there is the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set that just like that. That's number 1. Number 2. Number 3. Oop. I highly suggest, if you've never done anything like this before, is to number them, or at least have something to keep them in order. Okay. Now I know which the top is, so I ain't worried about that. So I'm just gonna put these over here out of the way. They're over here on a table and they're in line with the rocker setup. Now, these doesn't look to be, they have the little valve lash caps on them. So what I'm going to do, I need to get my air thing out, but before we do that, we got to get all the plugs out. So let me get all the spark plugs out of there, and I'll bring you in here and I'll show you what I'm doing and how I'm going to do it. I went ahead and took one off just to see if this was going to work, because I don't want to look like a complete failure on camera, but it works. My little valve spring compressor that was my dad's that he used for years, it wasn't going to work on this one. Something, just how the angle is. So I'm going to have to go get my other clamp. I've got another one, but it's not here. It's in my storage with my good tools. And but you can take these off without a clamp. It's just you need them to get them put back on. So I got one off, and let's see, because I'm going to do, you have to do one cylinder at a time. I'll show you here. Zeppy can get in there from the side. Number one, got this little air line that goes in your spark plug hole. You give her air, maybe, there we go, I don't know, 80 pounds, hold it, 100 pounds. Now we got this cylinder, these two have air and they will not come up. See, that valve will not go down. What you can do is you're going to get a socket that'll fit over the top, and these are some big keepers. You're going to get them over the top of it. This is a bad angle, but you bang down. There it comes. It's hard to see. Oh, one stayed in. We'll do that again. Oh, that's good. Lost one. I did, didn't I? One of them keepers went down. Anyway, that's easy to find. But it just pops off, and then you just got your valve sitting out. And let me get those out of the way. Let me find the lost boy here. There's our socket. It come out okay, but we lost the keeper. So let me find that, and then I'm going to continue this. We have, these are the new valve seals right here. They're pretty simple. They're just like a cone shape with plastic and a ring that holds them on there, and they just slide right down on like that. Okay? Now here's the thing. I took that first one off. There is a valve seal right there on the intake side. Okay? But you'll notice, see anything missing?
Yeah.
Is it missing? It is missing, ain't it? So this is exhaust, this is intake. So the intake is pulling in, right? It'll suction down and it's gonna get ready to fire. Well, then here comes my exhaust seal. What happens if there's no seal? When it pulls air, it also pulls oil. You understand? So if these are loose, let's take the air off of them just for, I know this one ain't gonna go anywhere, but okay. You don't want to push too hard. You don't want it to go all, oh, there it went. See? See how loosey-goosey that one is? And then this one's loosey-goosey too, but it has a seal on it. So we got to stick the air back on here. And we got air. Fills the cylinder. And what I'm going to do is, for now, we should have 16 of these. Let's count them real quick. Make sure. Quantity 16. So there we go. That's all of them. 2 per cylinder. I think I'll use WD-40, but we're gonna spray them down, get them good and saturated. We'll spray a little bit on the top of the seal, or top of the valve. Then we're gonna put this on there so it starts to head down the valve, just like that. And it'll go past, and you gotta get it down to the exhaust, or down to the stem, or the, I don't know what the hell you call that. You know what I'm saying. You're going to take a socket that's big enough to get it all through and just push down, if you can get it to push down. Oh boy. Oh boy, maybe. Well, there ain't any on any of the exhausts. Why would they give me 16? Oh, that one just messed up. That's not good. Okay. All right. Upon further inspection, I did not realize they do not put valve seals on the exhaust on a Buick. I don't understand that, but whatever. We're going to do Buick things because Buick does it. Anyway, I still got air on here. I went ahead and put one of them back on just to make sure I knew what the hell I was doing because it's been a while. This one's got the new seal, and I'm going to go ahead and throw a little bit of WD-40 on that, just like that. And then I can take my dad's handy dandy little valve spring compressor, just like so. That's amazing. This thing don't have it don't have dual springs, but you just set her down in there like such, and then you cramp her down. I tried to do it a couple different ways. I tried to do the bag thing with a socket. That didn't work so good because it kept ripping everything. I tried a sock. I tried a red rag. The idea here is just to get her down. That's about ready to pop out. So let's go ahead and throw that on there. Just like so. I know you probably really can't see that. There's one. And you just kind of finagle her around. Get that thing moved till it's on the other side of the stem. Like that. Then stick this one in. Maybe. I can't see. This needs to go around the other side. There we go. Well, get in there. This one didn't clamp down as good as the other one did. There we go. Get in there. You gotta be real careful to take your damn fingers off too. There we go. Then you raise her up. Loosen this up. And there we go. Then you got air to them. Hear that? That's air going through. Now, this is an old school way. You take an old engine that you get from a junkyard, put air to it, dump some WD-40 into the cylinders, put some air to it, and then you take a hammer or, a soft hammer or 2x4, you put it on the valve like that. That's intake coming out that intake port. What it'll do, that one's going to the exhaust. What it'll do is it'll knock all the carbon off the valves. There, you learn something new every day, buddy. Yeah, I used to do that. We'd get the engine home and take a 2x4, smack the top of the valve, all the carbon would blow out of them. Old school, man. Anyway, there's one. Let's move on to this other one, and we'll go all the way through it. That way you know how to do this, or I can at least I'm showing you how to do it. But now we're going to take the air off of this cylinder. Uh-oh, we need air. All right, so I'm going to show you how I do this all in one sum. That way it's not a garbled mess of me trying to do this. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to spray some WD-40 right on top of the valve. Get down in them keepers like such. Then I'm going to take this thing, I'm going to spray some on it too. A little WD-40. And you're going in to the number 3 hole. Just like such. You don't need to be like super tight. I just found that shit out because I had to take it out with a damn needle nose. And this is going down in there. Now we do not have to take the exhaust off. We're only going to take this one right here. This is your intake valve. This is your intake valve, so we're going to go all the way down. This made my job a whole lot easier. Boom, boom. Made the whole engine just shifted. Then we're going to take a hammer with a decent sized, oh, where'd it go? What'd you do with it?
I see it right there.
There it is, right here. The big socket. So right here, this is our intake, this is our exhaust. We're going to the intake. It may take a couple times to break her loose. There we go. There we go. There's that. Make sure you don't lose anything. Your keepers, like that. We got them off. Then we'll take our screwdriver, get it underneath. That's got a leaky valve in it. That's a leaky valve. There you go. There's our old valve. They are hard, or a valve seal, they are hard as a rock. They are not supposed to be hard as a rock. Then we got our new one. We're going to take it. We're going to spray a little WD-40 on there. A little bit on this. Then, got to be real careful putting this back on there because the plastic cap right here will come out. And that's basically the guide. Then you just take it like that. Then we'll take our littler socket and just push it on. Just like that. I've done these type before. It's been a while. Make sure she's locked in. Good and solid to the bottom. A little bit better socket for that. Looks like it's in. So then we're going to take this, put it in our clamp. We're going to beat this thing up, try to get whatever we can. So I went through and got the scope out on the cylinders. Don't do that. That's how you get a really bad day. So Bonnie's cylinders in her old 340 are in fact bad. They don't have any, there's really no crosshatch in them at all. They're shot. So I'm gonna put this back on top of there. I know you guys can't see this very well. Find your best angle. Okay. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stick this one in there. I'm gonna turn it till this side's open, like so. You just got to find the right angle for it. Basically, you got to turn the keeper like that in the valve on the stem. Then you can get it, and you can see that. I don't know if Bubba can run in on that. Can you see how much gap I got there? Whoops. But that allows that. It's sitting on the stem locked, and then we'll just unlock it. I'll try to do it so everybody can see here. Just go as far out as you can. Boom. Valve stem seal changed. Now, since we got a leaky valve, let's make some noise. Listen to that. What did I just say? That's how you clean out your valves. It's a surefire way. Look at that crap coming out of there. Look at that. That's all out of that valve. Here's the exhaust. So we could take a light and you can look down in there. You can actually see the valve set up in there. Let me get better. This old school mechanic stuff. I don't know if you can see the valve in there or not, but Whoops. But yeah, we just cleaned that valve. So yeah, you heard it. That's what I was trying to tell you. When you get an old motor, if you don't want to take the heads off and do all the stuff, get you a board. If you don't have a mallet, get it on there with air on it and pop it, and it'll blow all that carbon right off of that valve. So just keep that in mind. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this side, and I got 2 more to go, and then if I run into any trouble, I'll let you know. But that's how you do it. These are probably the best ones to use. You can use the ones that go on the top too, but they're kind of suck to get your fingers around there to get the keepers on them. I actually was trying to do it with this, where some of these you can take and you can put everything together and then put this on top of your valve with a socket holding your keepers on there, and then smack it and they'll go into place. These weren't allowing me to do that. A little stronger and sharper steel than some of the other ones I've done, but I haven't done it this way in a long time. But just make sure, you know, they're seated good on the head. Make sure your keepers are seated good. I can tell already this one's probably gonna have it too. It's probably gonna have a valve leak too because of how easy that's turning. But yeah, so anyway, let me keep on going, and if I run into trouble, I'll let you know. Okay, got one side on. Had a couple of them that gave me a little trouble back there, kind of the angle, but got them in there. And I just set my push rods back in there the way they were. Let me show you something real quick. These Buicks have a pad on the rocker, and these are replaceable, and I can feel that pretty good. There's no lips, no nothing. Those feel really good. You look in here for all your rocker stuff, that all looks good. I think we're in good shape to put them on. By the way, I do have one of these that's going on that intake. Highly recommend. Let me double check. That's an oiler. The screws, the oil comes up through here. You just got to make sure those are nice and clean, because I can show you again. We'll take number 1 out. There's no oiler through there. It oils up through right there. That's what oils everything. Oh, can't see what I'm doing. There we go. She's in place. Now we can put that back on there, torque it down. This side's done. Then we can get to that other side. I'll knock that out as fast as possible, and we'll move on. We'll get that all cleaned up, get the intake cleaned up, get it all back together. It's simple. It's just time consuming, you know, each valve, but it's not bad. All right, let me get on this. Well, alrighty then. Got all them back on. These 4 you do in a sequence, like in into out, and I went over them a couple times. It says 25 to 35. I put them at 30. Good round number. All the pads look good on that side too. There is a lifter tick over here somewhere, but you know what? It runs. I think we should be in good shape. So now, hey, clean all this up in here. I can get that back in there, and I'm gonna redo that thing. We're gonna cut that heat exchange thing off completely so it's blocked off, and that's what this 2732. This is a strange deal. I really need, they don't make them, because this is a small bolt pattern. I really need one that, you know, matches the holes, but I don't have that. That's a problem. Or I could put the original carburetor back on it. I don't know. I don't know. And there is no intakes for these. You're not going to find one. Yeah, I mean, you might be able to fabricate something, but we ain't got that kind of time. or that kind of know-how, honestly. But I've got another one of these gaskets. That thing's hard as a rock. Is usually that carb. There's a plate right here. Oops. This plate goes like this, and that is your heat separator that separates that from your carburetor. And that's just the way these carters were set up. It really was a good setup at the time. We don't need all that. We got electric choke. So I'm thinking the problem is, here's the friggin' problem. Let me show you the problem. No matter what I put on there, it's not a good setup, because no matter what, that's what you get. The only way to not get that is to have the little, some kind of insert that fits those holes, but I don't have any. It's impossible because this is small. Let me get the one I have and I'll show you. So here's one you can get at your local parts store, and they're crappy, the crappy ones, and they fit the hole, see? But the piece that goes over this only has the bigger flange, like the 4160. So you can't use that. So what you're stuck with is putting this over that heat exchange right here. You can get this over here. Don't lose this freaking thing if you're ever working on one of these. Good Lord, you ain't finding one. You have to make one. Well, now I screwed up. Now I screwed up. Come on, son of a bitch. Hold on. So that's your situation. You put that on there. This was on here like this. And then you're left with a big gaping hole and a big bunch of gasket. So what I think I'm gonna do, is if we take that original gasket off there and we use just a regular, well, let's find out and see how this covers. Does it cover it all the way? Yeah, it does. Fuck you, junk. So it does cover it. And that does cover that. So we might be able to get away with that. And get this gasket out of there. Because I think what's happening is it's getting underneath here and coming out the sides. And that's the whistle we're hearing. I think we may be able to do it that way. Because that metal plate, it does cover it. For the most part. I don't frickin' know. All I know is this part sucks. So, these are all cleaned up. Started to clean that up. The exhaust crossover right there, that sucker was plugged up. But my abrasive discs, I'm out of them. I gotta go get some. And I gotta go get some RTV. You're gonna put some in the corners. And then I am gonna use these. I usually don't. But on this one I'm going to, because I wish I would have used them on the Oldsmobile. But yeah, let me go get some stuff. We'll get this intake back on. It won't take me very long once I get that. We'll just start putting stuff back together. Not a big deal. It really isn't. It's taken me a couple hours, you know, a beer or two, just kind of go through things. So let me go get my parts and I'll be right back. Okay. So missed. It is time to put this thing back together. Got me some Right Stuff gasket maker. I am using these. I know a lot of people don't. I usually don't, but think in this case we're going to. I'm just going to put a little bit on the inside of the china walls against the head, and then I'm going to put some around the water jackets. We'll get the intake gasket on. I'm going to put this around the water jackets again. We'll slam her down on there. So, let's go. A little bit in there. A little bit in there. In there. And looking pretty good. Okay, there's that. Get these in here, like that. And the other one. Perfect. Okay, let me get our gaskets. And make sure you orient them right. Here's one. Here's two. Like that. There you go. Maybe, kind of should have maybe put those on. Maybe covered the whole gasket. I don't know. And we'll wipe the intake off. Make sure it's clean. Oh no, scratch the paint. I don't like that. Stay. And, well, come on now. Pain in the ass. But should be okay. He's goddamn heavy. Oh man, really? Come on, get out of there. Uh-oh, something fell. What fell? Something fell. Oh. Spring. Okay. Get my bearings back. And then lift this heavy son of a bitch again. And of course, something else gets in the fucking way. Come on. God damn it. Why don't everything at one friggin' time get in the way? And we're crooked. Here we go. Guess I could have cleaned the bolts up. No, I ain't doing it. One goes back there on the long one. This one goes here. I know that for a fact. That's a pain in the ass that's always in the way. And this one goes here. Well, how did I end up with no... I don't like that. Let me get a couple washers. Ow. Now, oh yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. So there is a torque spec on these. We're just going to go with all of it. But you just start in the middle, work your way around. Let's just get some valve cover gaskets and the valve covers back on it, and then we can start fixing, because there's little things here that I need to do better. I need to do better, which means I probably won't touch them. Okay, valve covers are on. Everything out of the way. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to do the transmission better. Probably run it straight through the carb. Man, I am sweating to death. This is the gasket that goes on that. So I'm gonna go ahead and use that first. We'll put this on here. I've got this all cleaned off. Get it. I gotta find the best possible way to pull this off, because I don't need it leaking anymore. What I can say is that gasket that I took off there, Smiley, that's a heat gasket. So I mean, as long as it stays in place and I get her down tight enough, we should be okay. But I don't know. So this little bracket down here, you can see where my finger's pointing. There's a little nipple on that little edge, this little thing. It's supposed to be here, and that's what this rides on. So I have to take those out, flip that thing around. Oh God, do I want to take that off or just let it sit? There's a water jacket right there. Oh, let me swap them. Okay, she's all back together. The only thing I got to do yet, put that crap on there, is this thing's got to get the oil changed, you know, after all that. So I have seafoam. Let me grab a funnel. I am going to dump a bottle of seafoam in here in the oil, and I don't recommend this. Some people say they'll put it in and just run it. I don't recommend that. You want to run it for a while with it in there, and it'll circulate. And otherwise, man, this thing will eat like gaskets and shit. So we're going to dump a thing of seafoam in here. Get her down in there. You can use Berryman, I guess. I don't know, whatever. It's whatever the hell you decide you want to use, but either one will work. So we got a thing of seafoam, Berryman, whatever. Now, we have this thing on a switch, so you can't start it, and that's awesome. I did plug where the transmission thing used to go into. I plugged it and I ran it around. I got to redo the line yet that goes in directly into manifold vacuum on this Edelbrock carburetor. There's nowhere to hook the, now I know why. Well, goddamn. Now I know why I hooked the ground to the carburetor for the ignition, because there is nowhere else. So I just put it back. Another day, another problem. So I am switching this thing to ported vacuum on the carb for the vacuum advance, so I'll have to change a little few things on that. So I'm gonna put my glasses on so I can see. Zeppy's in the car, and what I'd like you to do, Zeppelin, what I'd like you to do is not hit the switch, our secret switch, and I want you to crank it until you see oil pressure. Go ahead. What do you think? Nothing? All right, let off. Let the starter cool. Again. Okay. Switch. See if she starts. Oil pressure. Good deal. We'll sit here and let her run. That's already a win right there. Started. That lifter tap. Gonna let her sit here and run a little bit, get its bearings. What's that oil pressure at idle, buddy? Huh? 40 at idle. That's about where it was, so we're good there. She's getting her bearings about her. So now, since I changed a few things, let me get a screwdriver. Kind of idly. Oh, we don't have an RPM gauge in there, do we? I don't know. I don't know if we ever will build her. She just runs good. Let her sit here and run with that seafoam in there, and then we'll have to change the oil. She's pretty rich. Oh. I say that's something for another day. It's always done that. I think it's just carb's too big. It's almost impossible to get right. I mean, It's been like that since we got her running. I don't know what. It sounds a lot better though. It sounds healthier. And that has nothing to do with the valve seals. That has to do with me knocking the crust off of those valves. And then it also has a lot to do with, I got this thing sealed up a lot better. It just sounds it sounds better. So, yeah. It's got to change the oil and driver and try to work out the kinks. But she does sound way better. I think that'll do, Pig. I don't know. I'd say that's good enough for now. Call it a day. Dirty old air cleaner. And what I'll do is I'm gonna do some digging. We may have a jet problem where we need to down jet it, or let's put the original carb back on it maybe, and I don't know. The cylinders don't look good. Let's just say that the cylinders aren't good, but it runs so good. That's the problem, is it's smoking out the back. Wear a gas mask if you're behind me. I don't care. Anyway, I think that's going to do it for this one. I got the valve seals changed. It's running better, I think, because of how I have it sealed at the carb, but it's still not. It's just, there's nothing you can do unless you put the original carburetor back on this, and it didn't run with a shit with that carb. I mean, it really ran terrible, and it was brand new carburetor. Maybe we need to try that again. Maybe we do, but I don't want to rebuild this engine. I can build 4 or 5 engines for what it would cost me to build this 340. And we just drive her. That's what matters, right? We just drive her. She was saved and she gets driven. I would drive this thing cross country again. It's just fine. Just smokes a little. Let her smoke. I mean, I smoke. Why can't old Bonnie smoke? Anyway, guys, we're gonna get out of here. I did my best, showed you my redneck ways. Everybody loves that. I'm gonna get out of here. Y'all, go check out some merch. Down there in the description, there's a link right to it. I even got some cheaper stuff on there now, about as cheap as I can get it. And it's made overseas and shipped overseas. So if you live over there, you can get it. Got a new Gutless shirt, got a new IOG shirt that's Irish green. You know, it's there. I'm just rambling. I'm tired. I got to work tomorrow, and I look, oh my God, I am filthy. I'm getting out of here. You guys take care. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, all that shit. Share to your friends. See you at Duct Tape Drags in the middle of October. Hopefully she is ready to go. Not her. That's a he. This is a she. All right, guys. We'll see you next time on Irish Outlaw Garage. Take care.